Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 217 of the High Sensitivity Podcast, and thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, we talk about video game and movie news as well as we watched or played over the week. My name is Barry, along with my fellow dungeon crawlers.
My name is Craig, reporting for Dungeon Duty.
My name is Detective Craig to you.
He's been a detective.
I have been a detective.
Does that mean you've been playing Nobody Wants to Die? Is that
Yep.
what we're...
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Ooh,
Foreshadow there.
look at the sneak peek.
You knew where I was headed.
Yep. But what we head to next, as always, is the news
Yes.
for this week. News this week is kind of all over the place. Suicide Squad Season 2, guys. I'm not sure if you're still playing this game. I'm pretty sure maybe
Hell
two
no.
people are. This game is a mess.
Yeah.
They released the Dr. Freeze character, and people are upset just because, one, it's Suicide Squad, the game, is upsetting people in general by existing.
Yes.
And two, just like, even the cosmetics for this character are bad. Like, they've already reported all these losses on this game. I don't know why they continue to support it. They should just really cut their losses. But,
Fair.
Yeah, they're not giving up.
No. I still will die on the hill of I enjoyed the single player aspect of it. Like,
I didn't.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, I agree with you there. Like, I enjoy some aspects of it.
Mhm.
Some of the mission structures, like the ones where you can only do damage using your grenades,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing, I really don't understand why they do that.
Variety.
Or the only ones where you can only counter or use counter shots.
Those are
Yeah.
the worst.
Just make the game fun to play. I don't know why we gotta
Yep.
put.
I blame Destiny. It's all Destiny's
Yeah.
fault. They started it.
They started it. Nice.
Fallout London, a mod of Fallout 3, is now out on PC with the blessings of Bethesda out there. This mod has been worked on for a while. If you're a PC user, and since the rise of the Fallout TV show on Amazon Prime, many people have been diving back into the world of Fallout. And from what I've seen of the trailers and stuff like that, this is like a full-fledged new game.
Yeah.
For them. And if you're interested, I definitely say check it out. I can't say I'm not interested, but downloading Fallout 3 is a big ask from me.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. If either you two are interested, because you guys are more the Fallout guys than I am.
I don't think I have Fallout 3 on PC. I'm sure I could get it for cheap.
Yeah, I just think London is just such a cool area to go to.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be
Most
different.
definitely.
It looks like it's a really big cityscape with things that you know that are there kind of just in the distant future with a wasteland type atmosphere to it.
Yeah.
I might check it out down the line.
I want to. We'll see what ends up happening.
Is it free?
I believe it is.
I thought
It's a
so.
mod.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the SAG-AFTRA. The Videogame Actors or Voice Acting Unit is going on strike. Let's see here. It affects all games produced by interactive media. This affects such places as Activision, Blizzard, EA, WB Games. And most of it is in the fear of AI becoming the big portion of how they do their next voice acting and motion capturing and things like that. The strike affects any part of the union is not allowed to sing, act, dance, motion capture, or audition for anything. So it kind of stinks that probably we are going to see some delays in games, especially especially Kingdom Hearts. It feels like I believe I saw some stuff saying that Kingdom Hearts would be affected by this, but
Oh no, it gives them time.
I have to
It
wait
gives them more time.
longer. I have to wait longer for this.
It'll allow them to tie it to the other 80 million games. It'll give them more
Yeah.
time to do that with their story.
Quick, Barry, when did we first see the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer? When was that?
Oh, it's got to be at least 3 or 4 years now.
Was it right when the PS5 was coming out? Or was it before?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, just about, yeah.
Wasn't he like running up a building in that trailer
Yeah.
or something?
Yep. Yep.
I vaguely
That's-
remember it.
That's our Sora running up buildings.
Yep.
We then have Stalker 2 getting delayed until November 20th. Was supposed to come out in September. they're saying that it's going to allow them to fix some issues that have come up with the game that were not foreseen. I don't know what that means considering how long this game's been delayed for, but again, they probably are really trying to hope that this is a success and they want to take their time to do it, and Xbox is not going to tell them, hey, you need to have this out by this date at this point.
Yeah, there's a guy that I watch. Oh my god, I can't remember actually which person said it, but like I think it's just like cleaning up just some of the, I don't know, the gameplay, or I hear it's still a little bit, I don't even want to use the word choppy, but it's just, I think they're just ironing that out.
Do you think that we're at the point now where Microsoft kind of feels like whatever you need as far as their flagship games, so that they're not terrible when they release? Right?
Maybe.
Like they've been,
Maybe
I
yeah.
wouldn't say they've been like completely missing, but I don't think their games have hit the marks they wanted, like Hellblade and all that.
They're setting a higher QC bar essentially.
I think so. It feels like it, yeah.
And next part of news is a example of bullying working. Apex Legends creators are reversing the Battle Pass changes that they had made, which we had talked about.
Yep.
In their statement, I won't go over the entire thing, but it goes to our Apex community. You've spoken and we've listened. With the release of Season 22, we will restore the ability to get Premium Battle Pass for 950 Apex coins, and we recognize that we could have handled the Battle Pass changes better. That's on us. Who else would it be on?
Yeah, for real.
Was that a co-pilot written statement? I feel like
Sounded
every statement where they walk back changes starts with "You have spoken and we've listened."
Yeah.
But yeah, bullying worked. They're changing it. You're going to be able to buy it and earn coins back. It then kind of goes into all this other stuff about how they were trying to change something. They were trying to really justify their changes, and that did not. Like, it just didn't work. It didn't work for a lot of people. So that wasn't going to work, and bullying comes out on top.
Yay. In this instance.
It's like the first time you could ever celebrate.
I was about to say, kids, don't bully each other. There's no point. Bullying sucks.
Yeah. But in this kind of, like, this is how you get stuff changed. And I know everybody always says, like, oh, you make, vote with your money or whatever about, like, pre-orders, right? We used to hear that all the time. It's nice when it actually works, though. Because, like, the pre-ordering thing never works. Ever. But at least this did.
That's why,
good.
No, I was going to say, that's why, like, sometimes it doesn't work to as large of an effect, but that's why people still leave reviews on Steam the way they do, like to tell the game developers, like, this sucks, like, for whatever reason it is,
Mm-hmm.
And then some movie news before I hand it off to my friends here. Deadpool and Wolverine is crushing the box office. Rightfully, I believe, as we'll get into, as it should.
Yes.
As I know some of us have seen it here already. Mm-hmm. One of the highest grossing rated R movies as well of all time already. So I feel like it's a cheat code, to be honest. It's a technically it's a Marvel movie and it's rated R. So you're going to get all that money from Marvel stuff as well. But lastly, San Diego Comic-Con's been going on, and I have to mention this because of the blow-up it had on the internet. They're talking about the movies that are coming out. We have our first Avengers film coming out next year in 2026. No, not next year, but you guys understand what I'm saying. Yeah. And we have the reveal of Dr. Doom to be played by Robert Downey Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You've been living under a rock. This man played Iron Man for 20 odd years, or however long it took. 15 or 17 or however long it was.
He's still going to.
Yeah, I guess. But
I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say, they've confirmed that this is not Tony Stark. This is Victor Von Doom.
Right. You have.
So take that with what you will.
Yeah. Immortal Iron Man. If you don't know what that is, you can look that up. Is a comic book series where Iron Man is Dr. Doom and he kills Thanos, all kinds of cool stuff. But he's basically a variant. I'm assuming that's what they're doing.
That I would hope so.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut, Craig.
Yeah. That's the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, if he's playing, it's got to be Immortal Iron Man. He's like the villain Iron Man. and that would make total sense, because otherwise I don't know how you do it with the same actor. But I'm excited either way.
Okay, so that was my next question. Are you excited?
Yeah. Oh,
Do
yeah.
you think it's desperate from
No.
Marvel to do this? Okay.
No, because let's be honest, I could be totally wrong here, but they've been like, every movie has the variants, right? Different universes.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to come back at some point, right? I feel like we're going to see everybody again in these Avengers movies at some point. And then maybe after these, maybe we do a full reset. But I would not be surprised to see Thor and Black Widow and Ant-Man and all of them again one more time.
That's a good theory.
We'll see.
Yeah, but that's what I had in news. I know I covered a wide range there. What did I
did.
miss? What do you guys have?
That's a wide range.
It was a wide range. I got a wide range too, actually. First and foremost, it's going to be too late when this comes out, but Xbox 360 Marketplace shuts down on the 29th of this month, which is tomorrow as of when we're recording. So once you're hearing this, I'm sorry you missed it. But for us, I guess, if there's anything you want to download or buy, do it tonight.
Yeah.
Get that Doritos Crash Course, which I absolutely love. That game rocks.
Oh man, that game was awesome.
I have it on my
Yes.
Xbox already. Trying to think if there's any other one. There was another Doritos one, like Harm's Way or something. But yeah, that all gets shut down tomorrow. There's probably some stuff that's going to get lost. So if you are inclined, if you still have a 360, which is probably more of a ask, hop
Yeah,
on
they also
there.
did like the 1 versus 1,000 or something like
1 versus
that
100.
as well.
Yep,
Yeah,
that was a fun game. Yep,
yeah, they had some real bangers back then. We need games like that again.
we do. So I have
Creativity.
mine. My 360 is actually still plugged in. So I'm gonna turn it on tonight and double check and make sure I don't need anything. Reminds
Do
me
a
when
little
the
shopping.
the 3DS store shut down.
Yeah, and I was bolting to try and buy everything I could.
You were.
I can see you now. Like, come on, come on.
I ran out of space. You can't.
Did you
I
really?
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 4 gig micro SD card.
Could you get a bigger one?
You could, but like you have to have a certain amount of the one I bought was too big for the
Okay.
particular situation.
Oh, okay,
So it was
okay,
it was
gotcha.
not compatible. And then I was like, yeah, this is too much work.
Okay. I got 2 Call of Duty newses that I wanted to go over real quick. First and foremost, Activision Blizzard, will say admitted that they are using AI already to make games. And what I thought was interesting is they've already sold an AI created skin in Warzone. They won't say what it is, but it is up there and it is selling. It's probably the Gundam stuff, Barry.
It's the weed sloth.
I thought that was interesting. I mean, I think every studio is probably using AI at this point. They're just like, yeah, we're using it, and yeah, we made a skin with it, but we're not going to tell you which one it is because then you won't buy it. What you think? It's the weed one?
I think it's the weed sloth one. Yeah.
That one is weird looking, super weird looking. The other one that I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you guys read on this or not, was the SBMM issue with Call of Duty. If you saw that, everybody complains about the matchmaking is terrible now. Like, you have one good game and then it puts you in lobbies with people who are way too good, and then your next 10 games are awful. Activision also came out. It was a 25-page study. If you really want to read it, you can. But they secretly turned it off in Call of Duty, and everybody complained and said it was worse. So the fact that everybody was saying the matchmaking is terrible, so they were like, all right, let's try it and see what happens, and people were complaining more. I don't know which one is worse. I think we're just like jaded when we look back on older Call of Duties.
Yeah, I like that Call of Duty's like, hey guys, we've been doing this all without you knowing. Without your express written consent, we're doing everything you've wanted us to do, and you're still mad,
still complaining.
I mean, Call of Duty does tend to bring out the more mad, more complainy person in all of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. It's there.
EA College Sports has taken that over.
Yeah, they have.
Sure.
Oh my, they have. I mean, I honestly, I can attest that I also complained when they first announced they were changing, because when it was not Modern Warfare 3, I think it was Modern Warfare 2. I remember playing that. I was like, oh my God, I have one good game. And then my next 10 games are just awful. I was one of those people complaining. I haven't played in a while, but it seems like the lobbies we remember are just us being nostalgic, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I remember getting
I
rolled
guess.
in old Call of Duty games, but somehow we were still having fun. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of the funny
It's
things where, and I deal with this as well. Is you're playing in a group of friends, and you do have that one friend that sucks,
Yeah.
and that one friend that's really good.
Yep.
So it's like I have a feeling that system has a really hard time trying to even the playing field.
Yep.
Of like, how do we get the person that sucks to have a fun time without getting absolutely railed by people who are above his skill level? But then how do we get the people who are above the skill level to have at least and prevent them from rolling
Yeah.
on an entire game in a lower elo? So
I have
it's
another
kind of hard
theory
to do.
too.
Okay.
I think it's because of the rise, I guess, in the last decade
Is
of
it a
people.
game theory?
Hey.
Yay! Look at that.
Sorry,
Um,
I needed a little breath
I
there.
love
But
that.
sorry, it was a
No, I
little late.
loved it. Because of the rise of like people cheating or the susceptibility to find somebody, I think that for like, and this is just my opinion, I think that sometimes I get angry because I can't tell if the person's cheating or not when they're that dope at the
Yep.
game. I'm like, are they good? And then I spend the entire time trying to figure out if they're legitimate or if they are cheating, which makes me more mad as
Yep.
they continue to destroy me.
I always
That
just
might
say they're cheating.
yeah, they have to be cheating.
Yep. There's no way they're that good. It's
No
impossible.
scope.
Yeah.
They no scope me.
It's impossible. So yeah, moral of the story is Call of Duty and video game players in general are always going to complain no matter what.
Always mad.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite things that came out of Comic-Con was a leak via merch. They done messed up. This is, I guess, more important for maybe Craig and I, but Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered got leaked because of merch on the Comic-Con floor. Way to go, everybody. Not that it's like a huge
first
leak.
day.
Yeah.
First day mistake.
First day. I'm super pumped. I will play through those again.
Yeah.
Barry, you gonna try them out?
What?
Legacy of Kain. Soul Reaver.
What's that?
Did we talk about this?
We've
recently?
talked about this before. I think you brought it up, Craig, at one point.
Yeah.
It's a game from our childhood. I played it on
old.
computer.
It's because you're old.
It was on PlayStation 1, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
PlayStation 1. Yeah. Was he a vampire or is he just like undead? I'm trying to remember.
Oh my god.
I know you would like suck up their souls when you killed them.
Yeah.
And you had like claw hands.
Yeah.
Yep. You're kind of like Wolverine. But yeah. Did you find it, Barry?
Yeah, I got no idea what this is. I was 2 years old when this game came out.
That's totally fair. I'm excited. I will.
Yeah.
I look forward to playing through those again and reliving my childhood. I also have Humble Games. They just laid off all their employees, so it's not just like we're cutting 10%. No, all of them are gone, which I'm assuming would mean, and everybody else is assuming, that Humble Games is going away. But they did just put out some pretty sweet bundles.
That's what I'm saying. That's a hit. That's a hit to the gaming world. Consumer, creator.
I buy a lot of Humble Game bundles. I don't know about you guys.
Well, we're just not allowed to have nice things, unfortunately. That's just the way things are nowadays.
I always liked being able to pick where my money went to. I always thought that was kind of cool. Feel like I want it to go to this charity or whatever. That was something I always thought was cool. So hopefully it still sticks around. They just put out, if you haven't seen, a pretty dope one for it's like sports related, but like NBA 2K is on there, PGA Tour is on there, Skater XL and Session are both on there. It's a really good bundle for like $35 or 30 or something. It's a really good deal. Some movie news going off of what you watched last week, Craig. In a Violent Nature 2 is set to go. That should be interesting. I feel like this might become a series here.
A VHS amount of movies, you think? Maybe they're still throwing that.
Yeah, it might. I'll watch another one.
I'll watch another one. I will most definitely will watch another one.
And Barry, I know you're not going to watch that. That's totally fine. So I have another piece of movie news that's more aimed at you.
Okay, let me have it.
Coming from Michael Bay, we have a film and TV franchise in the works for Skibbity Toilet, baby.
My generation, baby. That's what we're talking about. Skibbity toilet. That's what I'm talking about. Finally, my generation is getting what we deserve. Finally, something that speaks to me.
You hear that, Legacy of Kane?
Yeah, Skibbity Toilet's here. What?
In a non-joking manner, why?
Yeah, what is happening? Why is Michael Bay attacked? Is there going to be explosions? There has to be.
A lot of them, yeah.
How are they making a movie and TV show?
I don't get it. No, I don't. I actually don't understand why they'd be doing this. I read this and I'm like, this is just Borderlands movie at this point. Like, I hate to do that to the Borderlands movie, but it's true. Like, I don't know why you have a esteemed director making anything related to Skibbity Toilet.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm gonna see a movie poster with the word Skibbity and toilet on it is just something that
I consider
we're
that
living
a win.
in a simulation. We are absolutely living in a simulation.
Does it remind you of like when we first heard they were making like an Angry Birds movie, and you're kind of like, what? Angry Birds?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, or
That's
like
exactly
an
how I
emoji movie.
responded.
Emoji movie. Yeah, I was trying to think of
And
good
that was
ones.
catastrophically bad.
It was awful. Yeah, man. But Skibbity Toilet. What?
I think we should be asking why not at this point. Like, I think we would rack our brains too much asking why. We should be asking why not.
What I really want to know is this a live action movie? Is it animated? You know what I mean? Michael Bay to me says live action.
Yeah.
But like, what's the lore behind Skibbity Toilet?
It's just it's just a Gary's Mod thing. I don't get it, to be honest. I feel like there's more to this. Like, it's gonna be like Skibbity Toilet, and then I still can't believe I'm saying that word out loud. But it's also gonna be like the Rizzler, Ohio, or something like that. Like, I don't know how you have to like somehow make it like that. Skit is not a movie. That is not you'd be stretching the fabrics and reality of time in order to figure out how to make a movie out of that animation.
Out of Skibbity Toilet? Yeah, so as much as that blows my mind, I cannot wait to see the trailer. Like, I'm so excited to see like what they're going to do with this and how they make it into a movie.
Look, you have to get kids back in the movie theater. This is how you do it. You put Skibbity Toilet on the big screen.
To be honest, I'm going to seek out this trailer now.
Oh, I 100% will, because I have to know what it is. But yeah, that is out there in the universe. Michael Bay is working on it. Sure. Good luck with that, kids. You get what you wish for. The last thing that I had, which kind of goes along the line of, I'm going to put it under TV shows. I'm not going to go directly to the first Mr. Beast issue with Chris Tyson. That's been talked about, not by us, but it's already been talked about enough. I wanted to talk about his game show. Specifically, there's some issues going on with that right now. And if you know who Ro Pansino is on YouTube, she has a cooking channel. Back in the day, it was called, I believe, Nerdy Nummies. She would make like Zelda cakes or whatever. She's huge on YouTube right now. She had done a contest with Mr. Beast a couple years ago now, and she placed in the top 3, and Mr. Beast edited her out so that Logan Paul could win. And I remember at the time she went on kind of like a rampage.
I remember this.
Remember that?
I do. I very much remember this. Yeah.
The reason I say all that is because Mr. Beast is filming a competition show for Amazon Prime right now that is kind of being advertised as a Squid Game type game. And Rosanna just came out again because people who are on that show or who are still on that show because they're filming it, and also who got eliminated, are sending her messages letting her know what's actually going on with that show and that recording. And we're talking about, it was advertised to them as a Squid Game type thing where you have people of all ages and sexes, male, female, whatever, old, young. And now that when they got there and started filming, they realized that an extremely physical competition to the point where the men are physically like hitting and knocking the women over to win. There has been numerous hospital incidents that have been proven by the local hospital. It's in Las Vegas. People have been knocked unconscious. People have broken limbs, all kinds of stuff. And then on top of that, there is how they're having them live, as far as like 300 to 400. I think it's 300-calorie meals. Um,
I'm
there's
sorry, what?
Yeah, they're sleeping on the floor of the stadium they're doing it in like $5 sleeping bags. Even so much as them not providing feminine products to the women there. There's a lot going on.
Oh wow.
It's just a lot. As far as, I watched like an hour-long YouTube video on Mr. Beast the other day, and I feel like he's gone from like someone who was held extremely highly at YouTube to now he's just being like, all this stuff's coming out about his people who work there, the way he films, the way he targets children, all that kind of stuff. It's very interesting to like dive into, but this competition show is like a whole nother level of messed up right now. So hopefully it gets shut down. I don't know if they're still filming, but or at least the people get some sort of compensation. They did say that when they got eliminated, they offered them $1,000 to sign an NDA saying they couldn't sue. These people who are sending messages to Roe did not sign, and they did say that they were called again and offered $1,000 more to sign, which they still didn't. And some of them even saying that Mr. Beast himself called them to try to get them to sign these "don't sue us" contracts. So a bit of a mess, and I don't think he's that great of a person, personally.
Yeah, it's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's him getting an Amazon show was far too much anyway.
Yeah.
To be honest, like
Mhm.
they're gonna make this because Amazon's put so much money
Mhm.
behind it. But it's one of these things where it's like it should have just stayed on YouTube.
Yeah.
Should have just involved YouTubers instead of involving innocent people.
Yep.
Like people will do anything for a shot at money.
It's
Like literally,
$5 million that
yeah.
they're playing for.
Yeah, literally,
Yeah.
they will do anything. Of course, and I hate to say it, but like, of course, the men are going
Yeah.
to be like, okay, like if I can secure myself by being a more dominant person, shoving people,
Mhm.
knocking people over, knocking them out, they're gonna do it.
Mhm.
Especially like if people are like this, that's life changing money.
It is.
Like you should have
Yeah.
just like put YouTubers in their place and like a YouTuber represented a single person is what like because
Right.
then that way the YouTuber really is like they're not going to treat YouTubers like this.
Yeah.
This is why I just should have stayed there. But I never got his stuff anyway. I don't watch Mr. Beast
No.
at all. I really don't care about any of the stuff he does.
Yeah, me neither.
So
The hour-long video I watch is absolutely phenomenal. If you really want to dive into it, as far as like the people that, you know how he's always giving away stuff.
yeah.
Like the people who win are always people who either work for him or are related to him. Even to the point where like you'll watch that and they'll point out like the same person in like 5 different videos winning. Like he's not even hiding it. You know
Not
what I
hiding
mean?
it that well. Yeah.
He's just not. But yeah, it's just very, I don't know, something about it is just rubbing me the wrong way. On top of the other stuff that was already going on with Chris, who used to work.
Yeah,
for
with
him as
Chris
well.
Tyson.
Yeah.
Ava
Yeah. I
Chris
was gonna
Tyson,
say,
yeah.
he's not having a good month, but
is
like
not.
I'm not I don't care based
Yeah.
off of like, wait, this thing. I didn't know about this, and that's terrible.
Yep.
Um
Or at least they should have advertised it better, because they specifically advertised to the people who applied that it was going to be fair, right? It was $5 million, but it was going to be a competition that was fair for no matter who applied, whether you were young or old, didn't matter. And then when they got there, it was like, well, actually, it's all physical challenges, which is not fair, obviously. You have to do something else. It can be some, but not like almost always based on who's stronger. You know?
yeah, I could see Mr. Beast just sitting there like, oh, that's showbiz, baby.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're trying to, I don't know. That's
Collecting his paychecks, his millions.
yeah.
That was the last thing I had.
All right, I got a couple of supplementary stories. Nothing crazy. The first one is Capcom came out and solidified that despite the move into the digital gaming era that we're currently in, that they will not give up on physical games. I thought that this particular news would be great for the three of us,
Yep.
as we have had many discussions. I almost said many discussions on the physicality of games, but uh, on our love for physical game media. It's nice to see. I know that people. I mean, it's at the wake of Kunitsu, which is the game that I was playing last week, being released only digitally. But like this is good news, especially from somebody like them. I mean, Capcom has been releasing. They've had a couple of flubs, but a lot of bangers in the last couple of years, and they've been re-releasing a lot of stuff. Like and doing remakes. So it's nice that they're retaining that. I don't know if you guys saw that story, but
Yeah,
it looks really good.
I saw this story and I was on the fence about buying the Dead Rising remake and also the Lollipop Chainsaw remake, but because of that, I'm gonna buy both
Yeah,
physically.
see,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
it's stuff like that. See the positive stuff already
Right.
as a result of that.
Mhm.
And then the other thing I had was specifically Marvel Rivals. Um, as of July 25th, they reached a peak of 52,671 concurrent players on Steam. The whole entire reason that I'm mentioning this, shout out to them because it is a free to play game, is the fact that completely dwarfs, or I guess, yeah, it completely destroys the count for Concord, which was 2,000 during their beta testing free to play weekend.
Yeah.
So it brings me to like the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which is just Concord and just Concord.
Had-
The amount of money that it's taking to create a game like this with the advertisement, the actual creation of the game and such. There are people, and it's only prediction, but there are people who are like predicting that like 200 people are actually going to be waiting for this game day one. And it really brings up a couple of things. Number one, like, do you release a game as free to play, or do you release it as something that you have to pay for in order to you know play it? But also big budgeted games, what do you do? Like, what does Sony do right now? You have a month until this game drops. There's nowhere near the amount of attention that's going to equate to the amount of money that you're going to make back for this game. You just recently bought the studio that made this game, and then you get like 2,000 people on free beta testing weekend maximum around who actually are showing interest in it, despite the fact that it's actually kind of, I'm not going to say revered, but people like it. The people who have played, there's stuff that there's a things that you'll normally run into, like the players aren't balanced yet, like some of the heroes are like more overpowered than the others. But I don't know, what do you do? Do you push it back? I mean, Sony's showing no sign of pushing it back, but they're running into a Suicide Squad, a Redfall, I don't know, like there's countless games over the past couple of years that have run into this issue, and it really doesn't work out. You just kind of cut your losses and then you go back to the drawing board. But like, I don't know. I'm worried for the studio. I'm not worried for Sony.
Right.
But it's just very interesting that this highly paid for game is not receiving the attention that you would think that it would get. So I don't know what your guys' thoughts are, but
I don't know if I'm in a weird YouTube algorithm as far as what I watch, but I know all three of us had no interest in this game, but I have seen an endless stream of videos in my recommended about like I played the beta and it's actually pretty good. Like it's almost like I'm like, are you, or are you somebody that Sony's paying to say that actually you should play this game? Because I have seen a lot of those videos in the past 2 weeks.
yeah, I watched Moist Critical play, and he
Mhm.
said he liked it.
I still
I
have
mean,
no interest.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Not only do the three of us not have interest, the three of us, I believe, if I'm correct, and specifically had interest until like the 45-second
Yep.
mark of the trailer.
Yep.
So, like,
We're like, oh, this could be a
Yeah.
cool single player game,
Yeah.
and it's not.
And it's
Yep.
not.
Yep. There's so many of those games. Why do you keep making them?
I know.
Stop.
Like you're supposed to learn from like past mistakes, and it
Mhm.
doesn't seem to be happening. So,
Nope.
but I mean, that's all I had for news.
Okay. So let's get into the games then. Speaking of games like Concord, I this is kind of this is a good month to get some stuff out of the way if you
Yes.
can. If you can
It
stop
is.
playing EA Sports College Football,
I
you can
won't.
probably get some things done. For me, I finished up with the Alan Wake 2 DLC,
Okay.
the
Sick.
first part of it, and I also bought myself a Riftmaster
Hey,
for guitar.
Ayo.
I have some thoughts about that as well.
I feel like we should do a college football check-in just to see if we are in or out of the angry mob that is going on right now for college football. But I did play Nobody Wants to Die. I'm not done with it yet. And I started playing for the first time Neon White.
Okay.
Okay.
I also started playing Neo again.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I
He's
love
got- he's
that you.
got-
No, I
He's
love
got that
this.
Dark Souls fix.
I had
love
to
this.
take a break from Elden Ring because I couldn't figure out where to go. And I was like, I have to stop or I'm going to end up not playing ever again. And I was like, I just want something straightforward. Neo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
straightforward.
That's as straightforward as you get.
Yep.
What about you, Craig?
I managed to drag myself away from college football long enough to start Dungeons of Hinterberg
Hey,
or
okay.
Hinterberg.
Cool.
So that's the only difference that I did. It was hard. I had to like physically tell myself to stop playing.
So then let's talk about college
let's do
sports
it.
then. So much like what Craig was alluding to there, Angry Joe has finally released his video as well about EA Sports College Football. How have your guys' opinions changed? Are you part of like the mad? Okay, so we got one. So to talk about it then.
I'm not in the angry mob, but my opinion has changed. I think there's some issues that they could fix as far as like via update or something. Specifically, I don't know about you guys, but like when I play Road to Glory, if I lose, I lose, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
quit out and start the game
Yeah.
over. I just take it. So I had my quarterback. I was at Georgia Southern and I took them to the playoffs. I won the first two games. I was in the semifinals against Oregon. And I know that they made a big point of saying like, hey, these bigger schools against smaller schools, it should be hard to beat those teams. But I felt like I was playing NFL Blitz with like the rebound effect. You know what I mean? Like I'll go down and score, they're going to score. And not just this game, but every single game in Road to Glory, if you leave any more than 10 seconds before halftime, they score. Every single time. It's just like something is off where like I'll have a drive and like right before half and I was up like 17-10 and there was like 25 seconds left against Oregon and it sims touchdown. And then they get the ball touchdown. And all of a sudden I'm down. And I'm just like, this is, you know what I mean? Like this is something's off as far as like the AI in this game is very weird. Also, after that, I transferred and went to, North Carolina. And I thought, because I was like, oh, maybe because the team's bad, my offensive line is bad. No, the offensive line is just terrible, no matter where you play. Terrible. Like, they don't block for you at all. It's just small things that made me stop playing for a little bit because I was getting heated. Because I was like, I should not have to run for my life every play as a quarterback. I shouldn't have to do that. Or like I can't run play action plays because I just get hit as soon as I snap the ball. So it's some stuff that I definitely think needs some work still. Once the haze of new college football wore off for me.
Yeah. The what I'm like, it feels like it's almost like a switch that gets flipped at some point.
Yep.
Because I talked about it. I don't have the jersey hanging yet. It's going to take me a while to get one. I did win the college football championship with the California Golden Bears.
Okay.
Won it with 8 seconds left. It was the highlight of my life so far.
So far.
And I'll get to the other point that eclipsed it as well. But I do have to agree with you. It just feels like so. Just as a heads up, so I have transferred to Penn State in my final year of college and eligibility,
Yes,
in an attempt to bring a national championship home.
that's what I was gonna do too.
My entire offensive line is 90 like plus
Yeah.
overall rated, and it's just a switch. It
Mhm.
is just a switch that this game turns on where blocking just doesn't exist. Like you're fine for like the first 3 or 4 drives, but then something kicks into this game
Yep.
where it's like, okay, now they're missing blocks or now they're doing this. It's like it just doesn't compute. I
You
don't
think they're trying to
know.
keep the
Yeah.
games close?
I don't know.
It's
All of my
possible.
games are close. I'm
Yeah.
not winning by 40 unless I'm playing
Right.
FCS Midwest.
That's what I mean, though. Like
Teams.
that's the NFL blitz effect and NBA jam effect. Honestly, was where it started. Where if you were up on the computer by like 10, they were going to score 10 in the next 20 seconds. And I feel like it's the same thing where they're just trying to make these games competitive, which I can appreciate to an extent. But when you do it that much and it's that noticeable, we're like, oh my god, I just got sacked 3 times in a row, and then the next drive, my I throw to a guy who's wide open. All of a sudden, there's a corner there. Pick. You know what I mean? I'm like, they're just keeping
Yeah.
the game close, right? They're rubber banding it.
I mean, and it's possible.
So what's your experience been like, Craig? Are you still in the honeymoon phase?
I I am, but I have some complaints about the actual gameplay.
Okay.
But the honeymoon phase of meticulously searching for, I'm still heavy dynasty,
Okay.
meticulously searching for the right players and such like that. Um, it's like it's just an algorithm that I really enjoy for some reason. Apparently, I should have been a recruiter, or I should have studied for that when I was younger, or went that profession route. Um, but in any case, I've noticed like smaller things. There is like a weird switch that is a difficulty changer depending on how the game is going. Um, I didn't notice anything when I played Road to Glory, but I did do it. I only played Road to Glory like 2 or 3 games, like not enough for like to figure out, where the variable is, in the gameplay. But I don't know. There's minor stuff. There's glitches. I was playing one game where the other team ran the same play, and my player, who was like covering somebody on the inside of the field, he was glitching into the player, and my other corner was running to try to make a play when the quarterback threw it, and he glitched into that glitch player.
Okay.
And they ran the same play twice. Like they knew it. Like the computer knew it. And that was something that I thought was weird. I know I mentioned like the penalty thing last
Yeah.
week, but that's more minor. But I don't know. I'm still in the darling phase for me, but I also have not been heavily pounding Road to Glory.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's where it's primarily being seen or more so being seen.
Barry, do you think the coaching play calling is broken too in Road to Glory, as far as like calling stupid things at stupid times?
Yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah.
there are times where it's 3rd and 14 and he wants to run the ball.
Right.
And something like that.
Sounds like the New York Giants. I don't know what you're talking about.
And then I'm physically yelling at the game,
Yeah.
going, "Coach, give me a chance. Let me
Right.
try and win. Let me try and get the first down at least." But the coach, he's thinking 5D ahead of me is what he's doing.
So
he's like, "Wait, they're expecting the pass, so I'm gonna run."
Barry, you're talking about the life of a New York Giants fan. We do that all the time. I'm sorry, I had to say that. Let's go back to the game. Sorry.
So for instance, like I was playing a game, I'm down, right? I'm down by 7. There's like a minute left in the fourth quarter. It was around a minute, right? I'm driving and it's like 3rd, and it was more than 10. It was like 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13. A very obvious, like, we have to score. And a run play comes up. So I hit triangle, right? I use one of I'm going to call my own plays. The other 2 plays were runs.
We're running. Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
If we run, it's 4th and 15, and we have to go for it anyway because we're gonna lose. Why are you giving me 3 run plays?
They need to add an option to Audible once you line up.
Yes, you
Like
can.
that's going to be the biggest thing.
Yep.
Is to add.
Yeah, some of it's just like that's when I was like, I need to stop because I'm getting too annoyed, and like it's gonna ruin my view on this game, and I'm never gonna want to play it again. Because in my head, I was like, all right, I got so close with Georgia Southern. I'm gonna go to North Carolina, which is a decent team. I'm gonna win a national championship. Then I'm gonna transfer to Penn State for my last 2 years and bring 2 natties home, and then I'll feel accomplished. But I had to stop like halfway through my North Carolina season because I was like, I'm getting really angry at this game. It's pissing
Yeah, I can
me off.
imagine.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
I'm like a 98 overall, and like they want to run. What? I should have
And like
600
not even like,
yards.
not even like option plays or whatever. Like,
no.
Are you a scrambler? Are you a field general?
I'm a scrambler.
But still, that's stupid.
Yeah,
That's
dumb.
not what
you should be going. You want to win the game. It's like they give up. Sometimes the coaching plays are like, whatever, we're gonna lose.
Yeah, and then they do things like, and you guys saw it. I wouldn't shut up about it yesterday, but like you get like one play where I beat Ohio State on a Hail Mary on a luck of the draw, and it's like this game's perfect. It's everything I ever want.
It's everything I've ever wanted.
Yeah, talk about realistic. The only thing that like I really do wish, like in that moment, I really wish it was as time expired. There should be very specific parameters in which the like people storm the field.
Yes,
like,
I agree.
That would have been the icing on the cake for me. Had like, your players celebrating with the the 360p graphic looking. Like I just wanted to see a sea of white. Like
that's probably a nightmare to do, but they should consider that.
Yeah, because
that would be a good addition.
It is a big part of the sport. It's a huge part of like college sports in general.
Yeah,
and it just like if you want to add that next like level, if we're looking for ideas for the next NCAA college football game, that's it. Like try that, add that. But
I don't know if you guys realize this, but that clip that you sent us, he's going to be showing that to his kids.
Yeah,
one day.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely.
Be like, look at this.
This is your legacy.
I did this. This was me. We may have never beat them in real life, but I did it.
There's a statue of me going in front of that stadium for what I did out there.
There you go.
I was convinced. I was convinced that there's going to be a statue built because while I throw probably 6 picks, on average a game at the difficulty I'm playing at, I didn't play bad that game.
Them. You should send it to like the Instagram account or the TikTok account for the Penn State,
and see whether or not
see if they repost it.
I really wish they would. I really wish like I had gotten my reaction because in the end, like I lost my mind.
Oh, I can imagine.
I would too.
Well, it's so strange because when you're playing at the view of the quarterback, I just threw the ball.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. And then all the XP starts dropping down, telling you that it was a touchdown.
Yep.
And I just like was in shock. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
We scored a touchdown. What? And what did I do?
Yep.
And then, I had to replay it and I went, oh my God, like what a needle in a haystack. But we got to stop talking about my college highlights. I'm way past my prime.
So when's your Cal jersey arrive?
The problem is like I don't think you can customize jerseys like you used to anymore. So like they want me to get like a player jersey. I can't like pick custom player, put my last name on it and 7. I think that's really stupid.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not looking in the right places for it. That's probably the case. But maybe I just have to get a blank jersey and I got to get a seamstress.
Maybe you could
blank jersey.
There's got to be like some third party sellers.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
you could do it for you.
Right.
I thought about it too, as well. Just start hanging them up back here on my wall.
Oh my God.
It would just be fun. And then I'm going to show my kids. You see that jersey? I won a national championship for that college. You see
what about pennants? What if we got like the school pennants for everyone you won? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that'd be pretty
That'd be cool.
Okay,
that's a pretty cool low risk way of doing it.
Yeah, and it's not as expensive as like a
it's not $120 jersey.
Right.
Yeah.
There's ways we could do it.
There's ways.
Yeah, I just have to go on Etsy. Etsy
Yep.
probably is everything user generated I need. So
It's true.
I think we should move away from the
Yep.
talk of college football. We've already given that game enough.
Yeah, but we
enough
waited so
publicity.
long. It's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess 10 years. We'll probably talk about it next week
Mhm.
when we win championships for Penn State and I finally dive into Dynasty. I still haven't touched that.
Oh, get ready.
Yeah.
I'm
Get
turning
ready.
on coach vision. I'm gonna be a coach. Like
There you
I'm
go.
not
No.
gonna control the player. I'm picking the plays and I'm letting the players play it. 'Cause
It is taking me
I know every
longer.
glitch play in the game and I know every audible. I just gotta let him do something. I should
It is
be
taking me longer to scout and do all of that than it is to play actual games at times. You're going to become addicted. Maybe I know Craig's your take on it, but
Yeah.
that's the last thing I had to say. I know we need to move away from it because we'll talk about this for hours.
Well, to be fair, I've thought about live streaming. Like, I'm not sure if you guys know of Pardon My Take and Big Cat, but he does like this whole coaching thing called Coach Doug's,
Mhm.
and he's been streaming it. I would probably like to do something like that. Like, I will get dressed
be
up as a
awesome.
coach with a headset and treat it as if I am the coach for this team.
There you
I
go.
That's what
I
it
love
is.
that idea.
Make
It's
sure
what
you
I'm
have
doing.
like make sure you're doing like the clipboard and holding it over your face so they can't see you.
Oh yeah,
talking.
no,
Yeah.
I trust me. I've thought of everything for this.
He's got every nuance.
Yep.
He's got every nuance. I trust you on that.
There you
Barry.
go.
I recently stopped working at my second job, and now I have so many ideas that I have to capitalize on. My brain, like, I finally have time to let my brain go through other ideas. But we'll see. We'll see. My coaching debut isn't out yet. I'm still just a redshirt senior in my college year. I gotta focus on the playoffs.
Fair.
I gotta focus on the
Playoffs?
playoffs first.
Mhm.
Facing NC State. That's coming. Gotta beat them next. All right. I'm gonna stop. Let's talk.
What other video games have we played?
That's not to say yet. The Alan Wake 2 DLC. I'll talk
Yeah.
about that one. Had a lot of fun with this. I did not expect to have as much fun, but I do need to ask you, Craig.
Yep.
The first episode.
Yep.
Did you have frame rate issues all over the place?
Yes.
With
You're talking
like,
about the
okay.
waitress?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Like,
Yep.
I had to switch it to performance mode to get to like stop it because it was bad. It was bad the way it was stuttering. But
I
they're
think-
just kind of.
I think it's because like you can like fully auto your weapons.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened.
Mhm.
Like that's when I noticed all of the dips in the frame rate and the game slowing down. It's because I was taking what is a pump shotgun and shooting it around like a 50 caliber gun, machine gun.
Yep.
So, but they're a lot of fun. I actually think my favorite is the maid one. I just find the writing so clever.
Okay.
Like the way she talks to herself.
Yeah.
And how evil or bad guy Alan Wake talks about how he's a werewolf, and then he mentions, oh, and now my motorcycle's a werewolf, and then the motorcycle becomes a werewolf. I just find it hilariously self-aware. And I did enjoy kind of just mowing down people.
Yep.
All 3 episodes I think are worth a play. I do think the DLC is fun to play. Which one? The Quantum Break one, the time breaker, the last episode was definitely the most like fruitful in lore for what's going on. But I think it's the shortest by far. Like it is. Yeah. And I mean by shortest as well as if like a decent amount of that gameplay is a comic book that is read to you.
Yeah.
And a walking simulator.
Did you enjoy the 2D part?
I did enjoy the 2D. That was fun.
Yep.
I just hate how this game like and it's with it's with that first and last episode as well, where like they're jump scaring wolves in front of me, and I'm like, gosh darn it, I just got scared by a stupid wolf.
Yep.
That just flashed up on the screen. And it was the same thing with like the Wayland door, Warland door.
Yep.
He just suddenly pops up on your screen, and I'm like, ah. It's like I hate being as jumpy as I am sometimes.
I do too, Barry. I do too.
But you got all that sweet lore.
Yeah, all the sweet lore. I got more lore. I did say like a part of me wants to try playing the final draft. I need to look up to see if the differences are really worth it, because I'm at a point where it's like I don't really want to get into the Elden Ring DLC. I'll be honest, because I know that will take up a majority of my life. So part of me is like I should probably try to play finish Grand Blue Relink or do this or do that, and not replay Stellar Blade, which I'm really close to doing.
They added.
I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you.
I saw that. There's a new beach in Stellar Blade where I think they said like she deserves to relax.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know what these guys know their
do.
fan base. Yeah.
But I literally was like, that's not going to get me to turn the game back on. Come on now.
It got me to update it.
You would.
Well, I only have a complete save file, so I can't go back to there unless like I start New Game Plus.
Right.
So it's like a part of me is like, maybe it's New Game Plus time. Maybe it's time.
No.
I could be the blade. I could be the blade of stellarness.
I could be.
No.
And then I'll just talk about the Rift Master guitar.
Yes.
I'm not going to show it just because Craig already showed it off last week.
Yes.
Got myself one of them on a. Luckily enough, it took a little confusing. Had to call up my local friend Craig to figure out how to get it to work on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
But excuse me. This guitar is the real deal. It just works, and that's what I like about it. I've been a person who's played particular games on my computer that are rhythm games with my Guitar Hero controller, and for PlayStation that works via Bluetooth, and it just isn't as reliable.
Yep.
I'm finding a lot of fun because it has its own dongle, it connects, it works, and that's kind of the biggest thing is that it works, and you can play music, and I'm having a lot of fun. Playing music. It's always fun, like going back into something you haven't played for a while. There's like you play 3 songs and you realize, okay, I'm kind of back. And then you just have this one moment where you hit a string of notes and you're just like, oh yeah.
I'm a god.
I'm better than I ever have been.
Yep. I feel like I'm much better with this guitar than any other guitar I've ever used.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
I don't know if it's just like the buttons feel smoother. I don't know. But I've been playing like every day.
I'm trying not to.
Yeah, it's a good break though.
Yeah, well, it's like I'm trying not to do just that and play college football. Like I'm trying to. I need to go outside at some point and see sunlight, touch grass.
No, you don't.
I do. Gotta lose weight. Look, I'm gonna be old soon, guys. By the time of this recording, I got less than a month left in my youth.
Yeah,
and I need to fix my body.
And then you can join us old people.
Yeah,
Are you excited?
No, I'm not. I'm not excited to be old.
You're not going to be old.
It's old. It's officially old.
Nah.
My youthful spirit. Just
I don't feel old yet. Craig, do you feel old yet?
Every once in a while, like a muscle will be like.
Yeah, true.
You guys are also kind of in shape. I am not. There is that specific thing going on, but regardless.
To be fair, I played a ton of with my Rift Master guitar, and like I stand when I play, and I noticed.
So do I.
I noticed last night. I was like, man, why did my knees hurt?
Yeah,
it's because I've been standing playing Clone Hero for hours. And I'm just like, oh, no wonder my knees hurt. I can't do that anymore like I could when I was 22.
Right.
Yeah, I stand up while I play too, and I'm thinking to myself like, okay, I gotta bend the knees, can't just lock them all the time.
Do you do any sweet moves while you're playing? Because I do. Do you ever get into it that much?
I'm not at that point yet. There are times when I'll like look away from the screen, play a string of notes, and come back to the screen like I'm looking at the crowd. I'm looking at the crowd. I used to be a very much like show offy, play the guitar behind my back. I haven't gotten there yet. Okay. I will be eventually dipping my toes back into the back into my Angus Young phase of rock and roll.
You guys are rock stars.
Do you ever do like you finish a solo and you like 100% the solo and you just kind of like hold the last note with your hand up in the air?
Yeah, and exactly. Yeah,
I do that a lot. I do that all the time.
A recent dream of mine has come true where I could finally play Stairway to Heaven.
Okay.
And it's the live version, which is so much fun. You can download that song and play it on there. And it's just like, you just get so into the music. You're just like, yeah, I am the guitarist. I'm making the noise. Like, it is stupid, the self-insertion.
Yeah, but it's a good feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just like you get into that music and you're like, yeah, I'm hitting all these notes, and like, yeah, my fingers kind of resemble what the chords would be in real life.
Well, hey guys, why do we play games to get into them?
Yeah, exactly.
I think we get muted by a lot of games that don't allow us to get that into them.
Right.
Like, so, when you find one that really just like demands your attention like that, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're experiencing that with college football, and I'm glad you guys got those
Yep.
to experience it there too.
Oh, college
Yeah, but
football. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is kind of the perfect lifestyle right now. I am living my dream of being a walk-on quarterback winning national championships for 5-star schools. I'm just missing like where the really, to be honest. And then I'm also living my rock star life.
Yep.
Where I'm
And also asking the same question.
And also asking the same question.
You're like, I'm doing both of these things. My house should be full of women right now.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
It's just like the only thing I'm missing is hitting slong dongers.
There it is. There it is.
outside the park.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I'm missing. My face is turning so red.
Yeah, but you had the walk-off Hail Mary. That's the equivalent of hitting schlongers out of the park. So walk-off Hail Mary.
Yeah, just hitting foot-long hot doggers, out of the park is just something that you just can't replicate sometimes.
You can't.
It's just the sound of a bat, really.
Yep.
Just the bat of me just absolutely meteoring a nuclear bomb into the Allegheny River against the Pirates.
Yep.
So enough of my.
I know we said we were done with college football.
Go ahead.
There's like 4 celebrations when you score a touchdown, right? Depending on like where you push. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I score a touchdown now, myself, I put my controller down and I go every single time.
Yeah, the ice in my veins. The ice in my veins.
Every time I score.
I do something similar where I do like a stupid white boy dance, and I'm like, yeah, get it, white boy, and then
Oh my god.
We're living our best lives right now, okay?
Yeah,
Can't take that from us.
There's not a better life for someone's fleeting youth is right now for me. This is I'm peaking. This is the perfect time. This is the perfect time to peak. I'm getting skibbity toilet movies. I'm throwing touchdowns. I'm a rock star.
Craig, I have something that'll blow your mind.
Uh-oh.
You can actually access more celebrations if you hold the trigger down.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try that.
So like left trigger or right trigger, and then you just hit up, down, left, right like you would.
Okay.
It opens up the access to celebration.
Yeah, but I like the ice in the veins one.
Oh, the ice in the veins is great.
Yep. Or sometimes if you don't press anything and they just like shush the crowd, I'm like,
Yes.
ooh, yeah, that's what I would do. Anyway, games.
I'm shutting up.
Anyway, what else? I forgot that we're talking about other games.
Neon White. I never got a chance to play. It's on Game Pass, so I was like, hey, I'll try that out. The game's pretty all right. You played it, right, Barry?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay. You enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a fun, fast-paced game, and it's also like pretty good at small doses.
Yeah, and you can go back and like try to beat better times, and I like that when you beat it and then play it again, you can unlock they're like hints of like, hey, go this way to better your time. I like that. It's very cool. The story's weird, very anime.
Yeah, I was gonna say story's right up my alley.
It is.
But
it's like, hey, if you perform well enough and move up the ranks, you get to. Do you get to? Is it you come back to life or you go to heaven?
You go to heaven.
I thought it was heaven. Okay, yeah. I'm enjoying it in small doses. It's a nice kind of like Clone Hero for me, but it's like a nice palate cleanser. Like I'm gonna go run a couple levels. They take like 10 seconds, sometimes longer. But it's just been a fun. That's a perfect Game Pass game. I'm not gonna lie.
That is
like that's smart putting that on there. I guess Call of Duty was the big one, but like we all own Call of Duty, so when they added that to Game Pass, I was like, all right,
yep.
whatever. Nobody Wants to Die. That's the important one. I went ahead and bought it because I was like, I'm just gonna keep looking at it for the next like 2 months before I actually buy it. So let me just buy it now. $25, which is a steal for this game. Just a good old detective, no combat, investigate crime scenes type of noir that is like scratching a certain itch in my head for me. Reminds me of playing LA Noire, kind of, where you're like going through crime scenes. You have your tools to like go back and forth in time to see how things happened. You have a whole bunch of different tools that you end up using, that I just like. They all work extremely well. The game looks gorgeous. I'm playing on PC, obviously, but it looks incredible, and it has the story itself is very entertaining. So I think this is a solid steal for $25. Now I haven't beaten it yet, and I don't know how long it is. I'm assuming it's not extremely long. I feel
Maybe
like
like a
it's
10-hour.
yeah. But depending on when I'm done, I'll say for sure. But if it's like a 10-hour game, they could have charged $60 for it, and I
Wow.
and I feel like it would have been fine. But for $25, man, that's a if like investigating crime scene sounds cool, you can't do much worse than that. You just as long as you're okay with no combat, which I don't. That's fine by me.
That sounds exactly like a game my wife would want to play.
Yeah, yeah.
We've been looking for an LA noir itch for a while now,
Hmm.
and like she definitely likes when a game doesn't have combat in certain scenarios like that one.
Yeah, and it has the type of like there's I'm assuming different endings because your choices it'll do the like this is will affect the story when you choose stuff, and it'll be like you'll find a certain piece of evidence and it'll be like,
Lee's
oh
going to remember that.
yes, like should I keep it or should I burn this evidence, that kind of stuff, or like oh I found like at the very beginning like you find this rich person had like cigars and you're like oh I could take one, but that'll affect the story because then you're not a honest detective. um the whole
Hmm.
thing revolves around like nobody dies in this uh period of time. Everybody takes these pills that just make you live forever, so you're investigating a murder because somebody actually died and it's like this big deal because
Oh,
nobody
that's
does.
cool.
Very Bioshock like the way it looks, um which I love that like steampunk style. Yeah, super cool. I would say definitely check it out. She will probably love it for sure.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's what I play.
All right. Speaking of love, I only have one additional game that I played this week, and it was Dungeons of Hinterberg.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know how I missed this one, Craig. Thank you for talking about it
Mhm.
last week because it was on my radar, but I didn't realize it was out or it got buried in the Game Pass available
It
games
came
because
out
they've
with
been
like
releasing
four
a
other games that day.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's fantastic. This is a sleeper for those of you who don't know about it. But essentially it's about a world where in Austria, I believe, in like the in a random near a random town, monsters were discovered, and instead of like a normal arc that you see in a story, we actually do what is the human thing, and we decide to make it a tourist location where people go to fight monsters on vacation. So you play like a lawyer lady, or not a lawyer yet, but she's like something, like a page or something. I don't know. I don't know what she is. But essentially she goes on a vacation to get away, and you explore this town and you go to dungeons and you fight. They tell you straight out the gate there's 25 dungeons, so you like know where the end game is. But like Craig said last week, which is why I won't spend too much time on it, it's great with the day night cycle. The art style is amazing. The combat feels fine, and I haven't even explored everything that I can do yet because I can definitely see that there's more that I'm going to be able to do. But combination of physical fighting using magic. Certain magics are only available in certain areas, which it looks like there's four main areas of the game, which I thought was a nice little small touch. And that's what the game is. It throws a lot of small touches that you've seen in other games. You know, you got the whole persona aspect, Atlas thing where you're trying to essentially create and establish relationships, which in turn help you when you go to the dungeons. You do that at night. You have to make the choice: do I want an extra health bar by hanging out with this person? Do I want more MP by hanging out with this person, permanent MP? I love that. And that's something that I'm always going to love, which is why I'll buy every Atlas game. They have it in here. It's not overly complicated, and the simplistic nature of the game combined with the way they deliver it. There's ambient songs in the background while you're fighting stuff. I don't know. It's a great mixture of things, and I haven't really played a game in a while in these last couple of months that just was a relaxing had relaxing familiarity, if I could say. There's college football, there's Stellar Blade, everything's like intense. I have to win, like I have to do this. This is so relaxing to just play this game. I think anybody could play it. I saw a smidge of difficulty there, but I was like trying to figure out if it's hard or not. It's not really,
Yeah, I don't think so.
but like I recommend it to like anybody. Like I think this is an everybody game. Everybody should give this a whirl.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's all I played.
Ready to talk about movies then?
Let's do it.
All right, movies this week for me is Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind and Deadpool and Wolverine.
I got Deadpool and Wolverine, and I guess the American way of saying it is Kill.
Okay, I did not get to Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm so sorry, boys.
It's all good.
I embarrassingly, this is not actually helping my me feel good about myself, but I went through a Godzilla and King Kong because I've missed a lot of the movies, so
Sure.
I just powered through them, and I ended up getting through Godzilla, the Godzilla Kong New Empire movie that came out this year because that's on Max.
Okay.
How was it? You lead off.
Don't you dare talk bad about
So,
it.
no, 20 seconds backstory.
Yep.
I grew up with Godzilla. My dad showed me the old ones. Like, he loves Godzilla. He also loves King Kong. So I watched the old King Kongs too, like black and white growing up. So I've always loved Godzilla. And I don't know why I haven't jumped on this series. I like it for what it is. I really like it for what it is. I didn't have any expectations of some like insane, mesmerizing story that's going to make me just like rethink, plot twists or anything like that. One thing I do like that's a different contrast, do they purposefully not give Godzilla that much of a personality? Because Godzilla movies are centered around him having a personality. Like the old ones, there's a big, I know they played it up in these movies with like the Mothra Godzilla combo relationship, but they don't give on-screen Godzilla that much of a personality. In contrast, Kong steals the show in every movie they're in, and it's because they give him some type of facial expression other than roaring and turning his back like Godzilla. Like even in moments where they're clashing and Godzilla either wins or there's a stalemate or whatever, when they come to an agreement that like, hey, there's a larger threat, the both of us should fight that, King Kong like facially is like, hey, we're friends now. Like even in the movie prior where they beat Mechagodzilla, like Kong acknowledges and Godzilla just turns around and walks towards the sea. That's my only issue.
Though.
So
That's his
so
personality.
I'll break it down for you real quick. Godzilla is from Japan, so he's anime. He's a yandere, is what they call him. He just, he just turns around and calls Godzilla Baka, and continues on with his day.
I thought I thought they gave him a little bit more in this newest one because like he was like at the very beginning, right? He's like, hey, let me go take care of this. I'm gonna go back to the Coliseum and go to sleep. Like that was his bed. It was just kind of like his. But I was kind of thinking of it as like Godzilla was just like, yeah, I did it. That person's. I'll be over here if you need me again. You know what I mean? I'm going to bed. Yeah,
he did. He does like the Batman, where he just like kind of just
yeah. All right, peace. You know what I mean?
but it was good. Special effects are. I don't know how these cities keep popping up. I know they keep changing cities throughout there. But like Buenos Aires is done.
Yeah, it's toasted.
I did like Scar Kong.
Yeah.
I did like him. He had a oh, this is going to be oddly specific, but he had like a Eddie Gordo way of moving when he fought. It was very athletic. And
this is also going to make me sound old. Who's Eddie Gordo?
Tekken.
Oh, okay.
He's got the.
I haven't played that much of it in the end.
They changed him though to who was the girl that took his place in Tekken?
Oh, I can't remember. It's the person who fights with capoeira
yeah.
And it's a specific style that looks like dancing. Mm-hmm. And that's how he fights, in a way. But like, it's a good movie, especially if you're expecting to just enjoy it. And to tell you the truth, less humans, more of them.
Yeah,
just less humans, more of them. I just want more scenes with them doing their thing. But It felt like Planet of the Apes with larger apes for a bit of it, but like other than that, it was pretty good. I just don't know what they're gonna do with Hollow Earth past this. Like, do they keep?
Oh, they'll keep going.
Yeah,
It's money.
it
And
is money.
Godzilla is popular than ever now. You know?
Yeah,
So
which is
Yeah.
great to see.
yeah. True.
But yeah, that's my take on that.
Fair.
All right, so I'll just go into Nausicaa real quick. A Studio Ghibli film from 1984, long
Jeez.
before I was born. The Boy and the Herring has me on like a Studio Ghibli kick just to like see some of like just some stuff. I didn't watch Nausicaa in a long time. I forget how ugly these bugs are. As as someone who fears the day where bugs are our size, this is like, oh, the bugs are bigger than us now, they've taken over. But it's more about a story of pollution and how like the world is growing to protect itself, but we continue to see it as harming us, so we try to destroy what's harming us. But in the end, it's all this subliminal messaging stuff. I'm always surprised. Studio Ghibli movies, this is a movie older than me, and it looks like you'd think it wouldn't look good, but the animation style is just so timeless. um Starting to realize that this studio is just incredible for the stuff that they make and how like timeless it is. You'd think I wouldn't be able to watch it because like old anime gets me that way where I'm like, nah, I can't watch this. Like it's too old, it shows itself too much, but this is not the case. Like it's a really pretty movie, and I also think it's pretty good. I enjoyed my
I
time
gotta
with it.
watch all of those because I haven't watched most of them.
I like for me it's I'm trying to see if I can chase that high of like what Princess Mononoke is,
Mm-hmm.
which I can't. That movie is probably like top 1 or 2 of all time for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it is I'm just trying to see like if they make something that incredible and The Boy and the Heron looks incredible as well. A part of me is like, let me see what they've made. See if it also is incredible. And I think you'd enjoy it. I meant to watch Kiki's Delivery Service, but instead watched Nausicaa.
Okay. I should just watch all of them. Just go right
Watch
through.
as many as you can. Like the one thing is there are some that lack action,
Mhm.
so you may find yourself like kind of dozing into a separate like disassociating in a
Sure.
way, and so you start looking at your phone. Whereas stuff with like a bit more action and calmness, like a flow to it, like tends to lean itself better to me paying attention with my brain that can't focus on something for more than 3 seconds.
Sure.
Yes.
Do we go into Deadpool and Wolverine, or do you want to talk about you?
Let me get Kill out
Yeah.
of the way real quick.
Yeah.
Kill is an interesting one. We are in the kind of the heyday of just straight get me to the action type of movies. This takes place in New Delhi. It is you're gonna have to watch it with subtitles, obviously, but this was in our local theater here for a couple weeks. I remember seeing it. Deals with two guys who are in the army. They're on a train to New Delhi. One is with his fiance, and the train gets taken over by people who are robbing the train. And it's just that like highly stylized, long take martial arts style action, kind of like a John Wick. But this is like not too many handguns. It's all like knives and that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Kind of like The Raid is what it reminds me of. And I love The Raid. It's just
Nice callback. That's a
Yeah.
great film.
I love those type of movies, and that's what this is. So like this was a big hit for me. I thought it was really cool, done really well, and I think I've said this before, but I'm really enjoying that like other countries are starting to put out these movies that you're like, no, you have to watch these. Like I
Yeah.
appreciate that. It's not just us, and like if it's outside of the U.S., everybody's kind of like, I don't care. Like
Yeah.
we're more willing to read subtitles now, just like every other country has done since the beginning of time watching our movies. So it's only fair that in return we do that as well.
Yeah.
So definitely check out Kill. It's very cool. But we can get into Deadpool. Spoiler
Deadpool
free.
and Wolverine. Spoiler free. We're not going to
Yes.
spoil
This is gonna be
anything.
hard.
Because to be honest, Craig, had I not been able to see it in kind of a smaller theater, not full,
Mhm.
I hate. Like for the most part, I do not like full movie theaters because
Yeah.
usually someone's
Same.
ruining for someone else.
Mhm.
is usually what ends up happening. So I was very happy to see it when I did, and also it's a really fun. I find it a really fun movie. There are these like the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman is like it's just so good.
Yeah.
Like these two, of course, are like you can tell that they're friends, and I think that's how it comes off. Is that Deadpool is kind of the comic relief, does all of this funny stuff, and then Hugh Jackman's character is more like, okay, let's bring it back down to earth. Like when the other one is taking its scene, you kind of know what you're in for
Mhm.
in a way. Um, Cameos. Wow, not going to spoil any of them, but good cameos. Good cameos.
That's the most I've gasped in a theater since I think probably Infinity War Endgame. Specifically, like
Yeah.
obviously we're not spoiling anything, but there's a scene where there's a couple cameos, and every single
Yep,
one I was like,
exactly what
I
I'm
literally
thinking.
was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they just kept showing up, and I was like, there is no way. I got a cameo that I've always wanted. Finally got it in a movie, and I
Yeah.
was so excited. But yeah, the cameos are on point. The story is good. I feel like got a little slow in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel that way.
Yeah. But the villain's good. Yeah, and Deadpool and Wolverine play so well off each other. Hopefully this means we start seeing them elsewhere. Kind of seems like we might start seeing them show
Yeah.
up in some other Marvel movies, which would be great. And hats off to Disney for letting them go hard rated R on this movie.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it does not work unless you let Ryan Reynolds say the things that Ryan Reynolds is going to say as Deadpool, and they do. Like there is no holding back in this movie. I was a little worried that maybe there would be. No. Absolutely not.
I have to say I can't stop thinking about the opening for this movie. Like it is in my head constantly.
Yep.
Yep. It is so much fun.
Mhm.
Like one of the best opening, like if not the best Marvel opening we've gotten yet.
I would put it up there with I'm a big fan of the first Guardians of the Galaxy opening.
Yeah, I would agree. Like
it's up there.
That's a good one.
You have to give it. The music's incredible.
Yes.
Like they did a really good job with the music.
I want the vinyl of this Deadpool and Wolverine soundtrack. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I would take that one too.
Mhm.
Where does it stack up with the other Deadpools?
Oh, I think it's the best one.
It's the best one. Okay.
I would say so as well.
Yeah.
And you can tell because this is the one with the most. I'm gonna say the most money behind it.
Yeah, and the Disney side of Marvel push.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can get other things that you wouldn't normally get. Like it's definitely a way bigger budget, but done extremely well. Man.
Yeah, make sure to go see it, Craig, because we'll probably give it a couple more weeks before. Like, I do want to talk about some of the spoiler stuff. With it, but if you're trying to stay away from spoilers, stay away from TikTok.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll bet.
It's terrible on there.
Yeah, it is a nightmare there. Like Twitter, and I should say X, but like X and Facebook have been pretty good. Like I think they do that, but TikTok is just unfiltered. Like it's just bang. Here's your
like look at this cameo. Oh, look at this cameo. It's just all TikTok is the past 2 days.
Yeah, if you like Marvel stuff on TikTok, you are not safe.
Nope.
You are the one that's gonna get spoiled.
Yep.
So
luckily I didn't see anything before I went.
And I think I benefited from not watching that final trailer, apparently, that a lot of people were saying that spoiled a lot. I barely watched any trailers for this movie because, to be honest, I didn't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Wolverine, but I find him as a very hard character to make fun, I guess. And he, I guess, more thrives in the X-Men kind of bonding or team thing there, whereas you don't have that in this. You get Deadpool, who the only bad part I have to say about the movie is I feel like whenever there's dead space or there's nothing to talk about, it's Deadpool's joke about pegging or Deadpool's joke about like I'm hard or like I'm erect. It's like
yeah,
it's like
use
you
it
could
a lot.
you can let it be silent for a minute, like just like you don't have to say a joke every time or any
Yeah, but
chance you
that's
get.
Deadpool.
And I
Deadpool,
get,
Deadpool.
Deadpool
I
never
was gonna
shuts
say,
up. Yeah.
yeah, I
Um,
guess.
I think Leanne and I have been watching nothing but like they have done an insane amount of advertising for this, and I'm talking like YouTube specifically. I would like it's really great to see how close of friends they are. I recommend watching the hot ones.
Yeah, that
They
was
don't
great.
spoil it, like, but they've been everywhere. We've been watching nothing but variants of them just being on shows. There's like that one where Gordon Ramsay cooks with his child, and they just do interviews. Um, and they were awesome on that. Like, so I can't wait to see it. Like,
Yeah, it's very well done. Gives me hope that maybe we're finally back on the right track for Marvel.
We'll see. According to San Diego Comic-Con, there's 3 focuses, and we know what's to come. Just
Yeah.
will it live up to
I
our
mean, this is it for the
expectations?
year as far as
Yeah.
movies. We don't
Yeah.
get next year is Fantastic Four,
Yep.
and I think that's it. Oh, Thunderbolts. Sorry, forgot about Thunderbolts.
And well, I guess we can't count Venom. We can't.
No,
So never mind.
that's separate. Yeah, Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four next year, and then Avengers the following year. No.
But yeah, well, anything else anybody's got to mention or talk about? Cool.
I'm good.
All
good.
right. Well, I want to thank everybody for listening and watching as well. If you are listening, please make sure to leave us a rating, like, review on your podcast listening platform of choice. And if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to comment and subscribe. Without talking about spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine, leave your thoughts about it. Talk about the ending of the honeymoon phase for college football. There's a lot to talk about this episode. Strike with the video game voice actors. There's a ton to talk about, and if you guys are in the comments, I will be active on there. I can guarantee you that. So appreciate all the support and love that we get from you guys every week. Enjoy your week. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Later, guys.
See ya.